Deep seabed mining is quickly becoming a major environmental and political battleground. As demand for critical minerals like nickel, cobalt, and copper grows, industries are turning to the ocean floor to supply materials needed for batteries, electronics, and renewable energy. But this push is reaching some of the most remote and least understood ecosystems on Earth. These operations take place 4,000 to 6,000 meters below the surface and use a few different methods for mining. The most common is nodule mining, which targets small potato-shaped rocks called polymetallic nodules that sit on the ocean floor and contain valuable metals. Other approaches include mining mineral deposits around hydrothermal vents or scraping cobalt-rich crusts from underwater mountains. In a typical nodule mining operation, a surface ship sends down a collector vehicle to the deep sea floor. This machine moves across the bottom, scooping up nodules along with the top layer of sediment, which is then pumped right back to the ship. Mining creates two different types of sediment plumes. First is the collector plume, which spreads across the seafloor as the machine disturbs sediment, which can smother organisms, clog filter feeders, and damage fragile habitats. The discharge plume is made of excess sediment that was brought up and then released back into the ocean. It can drift through the water column, reducing visibility and disrupting feeding and respiration, as well as entire food webs.
In April 2025, the Trump administration issued Executive Order 14285, unleashing America's offshore critical minerals and resources, directing federal agencies to accelerate deep seabed mining. The NOAA issued a final rule in January 2026 revising its deep sea mining regulations to streamline the application process. These actions prioritize speed and economic gain over environmental safety. The U.S. has invoked domestic law to assert unilateral authority to mine in international waters, a stance that conflicts with the widely accepted view that the International Seabed Authority is the sole body authorized to regulate deep-sea mining beyond national jurisdiction. To date, 40 countries, along with over 930 science and policy experts, have announced support for a moratorium. Scientists warn that sufficient baseline knowledge about deep-sea ecosystems still does not exist to measure the impacts of mining, while the ISA continues to negotiate a regulatory framework under pressure to act prematurely. Deep-sea ecosystems take thousands of years to form. Rushing extraction before the right protections are in place could risk permanent large-scale damage that cannot be undone for short-term economic gains.
While many environmental issues feel beyond our control or out of reach, we found ourselves in a very important moment to prevent harm to our oceans by preventing deep-sea mining. Sharing this video and spreading awareness is a great first step. However, participating in the call for moratorium on deep-sea mining is also very beneficial. You can participate in this in many different ways, but a great avenue is through sending an email to Mark A. Rubio, our U.S. Secretary of State. A link to that will be provided in our description. Other ways to get involved include signing petitions, such as the petition to urge Trump to revoke the executive order on deep-sea mining and protect our oceans. And for those who are able to, another great avenue would be to donate or volunteer with organizations that are committed to protecting our ocean, like the Deep Sea Conservation Coalition and the Ocean Foundation. All of the links to these organizations and petitions, again, will be included in the description below.